Modeling was never like the goal for me. When I first started out, it wasn't anything that I thought was gonna become what it is now. I didn't have any expectation that I was gonna come out with anything.
Right.
I did, and then it's led to where I am now, and I definitely wish I would have been a lot more prepared. The thing that gets you noticed the most is, your hard work and your dedication to it. I do it because I love to do it, and I love the intentions that I have behind what I do. This past season, I did 6 different shows. It's like the adrenaline rush you get when you're on a runway is... God, it's mind-blowing. And then you see Getty image pictures of yourself.
How did it feel to be on paper?
Just like people that go about their day on a day-to-day, like, are gonna see that, they're not gonna really know who I am at all. But just knowing that they've seen me in a magazine in New York City is crazy. That was one of those, like, I made it moments. Surrounding yourself by people who are on the same mindset as you, like on wanting to be successful in what they do in life, is a big part of it. Because if you're friends with the wrong people who are like, only in it for like the money and things like that, they don't really have a purpose for what they're doing, they're just doing it because they can, it's gonna bring you down. If this is something you want to be successful in, have your head straight forward and get on that road. This is not what I want to do long term.
Whoa.
You heard it first here at Hidden Record.
Are you serious? Sharpay Tisdale. She was doing this at the model. She's like, welcome back, guys. This is the Hidden Record episode. In this episode, we're gonna be talking with
Summer Eisenman.
Yes, Summer, who is a NYC model. We're gonna be diving into this whole entire conversation about modeling, as well as tips on becoming a professional model and all.
I don't know if I would say professional yet.
Hey, come
but
on now. Don't.
We're getting there. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Don't say yourself like that. You're. I would think I actually consider you as a professional model.
I appreciate that.
Yes. So.
I appreciate that.
Look, own it. Don't be like, nah, don't do that. Own that shit, bro. All right, this video and podcast is viewer discretion is advised. Explicit language will be used. Turn away from now.
I hope everybody like watches like the actual video, because
you want the whole entire thing into the intro. I actually love how we did that.
I just
that was really smooth.
For the people that are like just listening and not like watching it, might have like no idea the extent of like, I do a lot of hand gestures when I storytell.
We'll be fine.
I'll just like describe the hand gestures as I'm doing them.
Yes, that'll be fine. And, I think this is a great starter for people with American Sign Language issues. So while we were just doing like this, that means nothing. We're just doing the sharp. Okay, all right, we're getting to this. Okay, Summer. So, thank you so much for making the time to be here.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate that. So, I have a question here, guys, and I just want to let you all know that if you're looking to follow Summer, can you tell us where we can find you on any social platforms?
All of my social platforms are at Summer Eisenman. Ooh. And it's Eisenman. Eisenman.
That sounds like a German name.
It is.
I was right. We're going to get into that soon.
We can get into that. There's a heritage
and
story.
Like this video if you want to learn more about people who are German.
We'll actually make a whole separate podcast of the heritage.
Ooh, oh, okay. I mean, I did have a question that wasn't meant for you, but now I'm going to put that.
Throw it in there. Just throw it in there.
Okay, so Summer, tell us who you are, what you do, and what your mission in life as a creative. And, creative, I would say modeling is also under the umbrella of being a creative, because you're expressing like your art, the way you see the world through modeling. So that is the question I have for you.
So I'm Summer Eisenman.
Yes.
I do a lot of editorial and runway work, which are two very completely different things, which we'll get into.
Okay, I did not know that, but
we'll get into that. But yes. So I do a lot of editorial and I do a lot of runway. Recently, I've been more runway than editorial. What was that? What was the end of that question?
The last one is, what is your mission in life as a creative? Because you did describe what you do, but now what is your mission in life to accomplish through what you do?
Inspire.
Ooh.
That is my main mission, is to inspire.
Guys, that is such a heartfelt moment, and yes, I mean what I said. I'm not trying to sound sarcastic. That is a heartfelt message right there, and we hope that this video can help you aspiring young model. Wait, is it models or modelers? I was about to say modelers. Whatever, models. If you're trying to be like Summer, let's keep listening. Okay, so we're gonna dive right into the personal life, and just gonna chillax and have a great conversation. So, personal life, what inspired you to become a model, and how has your journey from, places from Florida and to NYC and all the way to LA shaped your personal and professional growth?
So actually, modeling was never like the goal for me.
I can say for all the creatives we almost
Like
never.
it was so unexpected.
Ooh, okay.
And I say that because when I was younger, like I always wanted to go into like criminal justice stuff.
Really?
Like doing detective work and things like that. That was like
detective.
yeah, that for the longest time growing up, that is what I wanted to do.
Whoa.
And it kind of fluctuated. Like sometimes I wanted to be like different things. Kids never really know what they want to be when they grow up. But yeah, for the longest time I wanted to go to school for like criminal justice and stuff like that.
What?
And then, God, I don't even know how many years it's been. I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
My parents got a divorce, and so I moved down here to Florida with my mom.
Okay.
None taken.
Yeah.
So I moved down here with my mom, and when I had moved down to Florida, I looked a lot different than what I do now.
Really?
Actually,
Ooh, we have to get into this, guys.
on my driver's license, you would probably think it's fake because it just looks nothing like me. This is me. Well, this is 16-year-old Summer.
All right.
I'm
For a lot of reasons, we can't show you this, but I will say, you see how Summer is right now? Yo.
I was like bleach blonde, bleach white blonde. I still had some of like my baby face.
Okay.
And so I had a little bit of weight on me. I don't want to say that might offend some people because I wasn't fat or anything, but I wasn't very tall.
Okay.
Back then. I hit a massive growth spurt and got extremely tall. So modeling was never the path that I wanted to go on. And then it was the most random coincidence. There just happened to be a open casting for a scouting company out in Destin, and I'm not going to mention names either.
And any names in this podcast episode will have been changed to protect your identities.
For legal reasons.
Yes, NDAs, all of that. I'm sure you guys in the creative industry will understand. We're
But-
all under NDAs here. But please go on.
So this agency was having a casting at their building, and so I saw it on Facebook. Me and my mom had talked about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. So I ended up going. I met a couple of people who I would say I still kind of keep in contact with now. But so I go to this casting. Little old Summer who was maybe pushing 5'7". I don't know. And I had got a call back. They wanted us. The agency that was there was not the agency that I ended up signing with. So it's a mother agency that was like putting on this casting for a different agency. So mother agencies aren't like technically people that go in like, they're not like an actual agent. They get you signed with agents.
It sounds like a corporation that owns some mini agencies that will handle specific kinds of...
It's kind of hard to explain, confuses the hell out of me, but whatever. So the mother agency ended up wanting to sign with me to get me into bigger agencies to get work. So I wasn't like guaranteed work or anything from them, but I got tons of like photos out of it and got the the base experience down with them. And so that's what really started it. And then after I closed my contract with the agency, I started doing solo work. And the tough thing about this kind of industry is like you have to know people.
I hate hearing that message because, talent, it's so hard.
I hate hearing it too, but whenever I got myself into it, like I realized like that's how these people get in. But I will say it's not hard to make connections. I feel like a lot of people make it out to seem like, oh, you have to like have a shit ton of followers for people to notice you and stuff like that. But it's kind of more of, you know, smaller creators that are wanting to build themselves and their projects up will reach out to you. And so you kind of grow together. One might grow a little faster than the other. And so that kind of brings you up a little bit more and sets a bigger name for yourself. So I had met this lovely person who I still talk to all the time, and I'm so forever grateful for him. He is a videographer that was from New York City and had moved down here during COVID.
Okay.
And so we started shooting tons of like Amazon Prime commercials. So I have a ton of those out if you ever see them.
Whoa, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so we did a couple of those, became super close. He's met my mother and everything, and so we're all like this big group of friends. And so he told me to come visit New York City because he had moved back.
Okay.
And he had some connections with a couple of designers who had got me into my first show. And
oh, wow.
So that's how I got into New York City.
Oh, wow.
And then the rest is history. That was a very long story.
I would say that's not a long story. That just gave us a lot of opportunity to fully unpack what became of Summer Eisenman.
Eisenman.
No, why? Dude, I literally put
R is the initial for my middle name.
Oh, so I was kind of right.
I thought that's what you were maybe going for, but that you like messed up.
I was mistyping. Actually, to be fair, I created a list of these questions while I was in motel when I was in Tennessee after 14 plus hours of hunting. But let's unpack here. Damn, I don't even know where to start. Cause
we could go down many rabbit holes with this.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I want to start with, why is it that you feel like it has to be based in the people that you know? Because one of the most frustrating part is not only in modeling, but as an artist, as a painter, videographer, photographer, it almost always comes down to the number of people that you know. And when you have so much talent, but you don't know anybody, that can be soul crushing. And how did you overcome it? That's a tough hurdle to go through when they start out.
I will say, luckily in this day and age, social media is your best friend, and I hate to say that because I feel like social media has honestly ruined the generation, but there are plus sides to it. So sometimes you could have something that really hits it off on social media, and it'll come up on like maybe the explore page or something, and all these different kinds of people are going to see it, and then it's just going to be that one person that'll see it, that'll reach out, who just happens to kind of be on the same position as you as far as success wise.
Yes.
And so you like build each other up basically. And I definitely discovered that going into this career path, surrounding yourself by people who are on the same mindset as you, like on wanting to be successful in what they do in life, is a big part of it. Because if you're friends with the wrong people who are like, only in it for like the money and things like that, they don't really have a purpose for what they're doing, they're just doing it because they can. It's going to bring you down a lot.
And you will start adapting their same behaviors, whether you don't know it or not. It'll just slowly.
It rebuilds your mindset kind of.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, these people are flunking down and not getting anywhere. These people are going up. What can I do to be more like these people? And so that was a big thing for me, was surrounding myself by people who wanted to be successul themselves. And like,
how were you able to do that because you said you moved to Florida? How were you able to do that? Okay, let's be honest. In this town, guys, I am a strong believer in this town is so hard to find like-minded people, and that can be isolating as creatives. So I don't know, how were you able to bridge, like, get out of that as a model, especially as a model? Like, how were you able to do that?
Let's go into a little backstory here.
Oh, and this is where we're
gonna go into a little backstory. So I am originally from Alabama.
Oh wow.
I'm from a small town I was born and raised in Enterprise, Alabama, and then I moved to a tiny, tiny, tiny town called Headland, and then Headland, Alabama.
Okay.
Tiny town. It's like one of those like everybody knows everybody kind of town.
Okay, I got you.
And so I went to school there in Headland up until about 8th grade, and then I moved to another small town called Dothan, Alabama.
Okay.
And so it was just like it was a mix of like, everybody knows everybody there. And growing up, there was just like, there was nobody's life there that I wanted.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Nobody there like inspired me with what they do.
Mm.
And so then I moved here and I met a couple, like, this is definitely a much bigger place and it's one of the biggest tourist attractions. So there are different kinds of people coming in and out all the time.
Okay.
And so it just takes like stepping out of my comfort zone was the biggest thing I had to do with like meeting new people because I'm very shy. If nobody knows that, I am very shy in person. And so,
Shy?
Yes.
Guys, just so you know, when I met her Summer,
This-
she's very confident. It was crazy. It's a
You
big
met
difference.
me
So
at-
I don't believe her. I don't believe her.
Met me at a shoot, all right? I had to walk in there with confidence.
Okay, fair point.
But if I'm just like walking around town, I'd be like this.
Really?
Like I get nervous, and so I don't talk very much unless it's to my friends, and I just don't shut the fuck up. But yeah, so I'm really shy. So anyways, yeah.
Okay.
So putting yourself out there is a big thing. And so you have to be willing to meet new people and have new conversations that maybe you've never had with people before. And so my number one connection that I met which is the one that got me into New York, reached out to me through social media because he came across one of my shoots that I had did, which was probably one of my best ones. Popped up on the Explore page. He had just moved here. He's going down this kind of same career path.
Yes.
Wanted to work together.
Yeah.
And so it really just takes that one time.
Just one person, one shoot. It's like the trajectory that'll...
And another
pad. It's just
thing
like-
I will say is, I feel like a lot of people going into this industry are scared to take risks or scared to walk through different doors.
Yes.
And so I think really just taking a leap of faith and doing things extremely out of your comfort zone is really what's going to set you up. So like, God, you might have things that you've never done before that maybe you don't feel 100% comfortable with, but it's not because it's uncomfortable as in like, this is dangerous, you shouldn't do it. It's uncomfortable as in like, I've never done this before. There's other people that have done it better than me. What's making me different doing it now kind of thing. So I think just stepping out of your comfort zone is like the number one thing.
I think based on what you said, when you surround yourself with the right people and now having to start to begin doing things that are uncomfortable, when you have the right support system with the right people that you're around with, that kind of makes it easier, which again, this area,
There are some questionable people, and their work ethic is also just as questionable.
But on the other side, though, I got to meet her, and she's just as...
See, it just takes that one person that you meet. That makes fun of your hearing aids.
Look, listen, I would rather go to ATL or New York or LA, okay? Okay.
I will say I have not been to LA yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
it is in the works. I was supposed to go last year, but some things had come up. But it is in the works for this year.
Well, let me rephrase my intro. She is a New York model, Florida model, and an upcoming LA that would be coming into that area to take over that place. So stay tuned for that. But oh my gosh, I still have a lot to unpack before we even move on because I love the answers that you're giving, especially the The one thing that stuck out to me was the fact that you mentioned how you were shy and you were that is, how does that combination even work with? Because being a model requires a certain level of confidence in yourself and to feel like you can pull it off. Because I was impressed with the photo shoots that we've done. You always came across like you knew what you were doing. And in a million years, I wouldn't have never guessed you were an introvert. So I gotta say, how does that work?
I think confidence and being shy are on a completely different level.
Okay.
I'm very confident in who I am, and I'm very confident on what I bring to the table for things. But shy is more of like an anxiety thing that I have.
Okay.
So I have extremely bad anxiety. So I second guess a lot of things. Not necessarily second guessing myself,
Okay.
but I mean, sometimes like I'll have pictures taken of me and I'm like, like, is that really what I look like? Like, it's just, or, so I get really shy talking to people sometimes. Sometimes I'm not good at starting conversations. This is completely different. Me and Keno have met before. If you're a stranger, I will not know how to talk to you. But
Brain not computing, but please go on.
it's definitely not as bad as it was when I was a kid.
Yes.
It's gotten better now that I've grown into adulthood. But I will say, I mean, I still get anxious and stuff all the time, but it's kind of one of those things you have to like talk to your inner self. You have to like talk yourself down
Yes.
to not be anxious about it, and that really helps. And really just putting on, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but I mean, some days I have moments where I don't feel the most confident. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling scared, but you really just have to put a face on.
Yeah.
So nobody can tell.
That's also tiring too, which again, this video is sponsored by, I'm not going to go into that joke again. Anyways, but no, like with that one, I can see how it's just, I have to say, congrats. I'm really proud of you. Even though I haven't known you for that long, just hearing that story, that side of you, beyond what we, do with photo shoot, I have to say, Summer, you're really doing a good job. I'm really
Thank you.
impressed now that I know that
Thank you.
history, because what are some of the things you can say to people that are struggling with anxiety and especially trying to express themselves out of the love for their art? What are some of the things that you can say to them?
I would say you find more peace within yourself.
Okay.
So I think really spending time with myself is what has been the biggest factor in really overcoming a lot of the anxiety and
Okay.
the shyness that I've had. Really, like, you have a social battery. I also work in a retail job where it drains my social battery.
Okay.
So really taking time for myself to like recoup, kind of go over things that have happened during the day, unpack it all, and just like, take silence for yourself.
Okay.
Like, calm yourself down. Meditation is a big thing too. I think meditation helps a lot. Yoga helps a lot. Yoga is really fun to do.
No.
And I know some people are controversial about this.
My brother bought me a book that says Meditation for Skeptics.
Look,
Does it really work?
I'm telling you, when you just like let everything go, like you just find so much peace. It's like actually crazy. And I'm one of those people that really did not believe into that kind of
Yeah.
bullshit.
How did you get into that?
So my mom's really big into yoga.
Okay.
She does a lot of yoga. She's brought me to a couple yoga studios, but I also work at Lululemon,
Yeah.
which is literally yoga central, and everybody's into spiritual essence, and they're big into mental health and all this kind of stuff. And it's really like that has definitely over the course of this past year is just recently when I've like started to find more peace within myself, because when you find like passions of an organization and what they stand for and everything, and you really read into it, you kind of find things that relate to yourself. And then they give tips on like, they give tons of tips on mental health within Lululemon. I know this is probably hard for a lot of people to hear because there's some
I think people need to hear this to help.
controversial things about that brand.
Yeah.
But personally, working there and the people I work with and everything, it has been the best thing to happen to me all year.
I'm gonna have one more question to unpack based on what you said. Now I have a new ones to unpack.
Ask them all.
No, that was.
I've got so many answers.
No, your answers are way too good, which I'm kind of like mad about, but I'm also grateful for. But like, okay, well, we'll go back to depth. And the other question I had was the mother agency. It's like, in a small summary, how were you able to navigate from the beginning as a model that didn't have connections, didn't have anyone to help you get to where you are? How did you even get your foot through the door just to get to an agency? Because I would imagine, okay, think about this. If you're 10, from what I heard, if you're a 10, a lot of agency will do everything they can to find the people that look like a 10. Does that make sense? Whereas it's like with the help of social media, when they see when they're all actively scouting for people that are really beautiful, and that's when they find you. But when you have factors like you're in a small town and you have a social media following that you're still actively building, and you also have a network that you're still trying to build, how were you able to get your foot through the door to get to an agency that you can get signed to as a model?
I will say, I will say, beauty definitely comes in so many different variations.
Okay.
And so, each person, each agency, like each photographer, they all have a certain image on what they're looking for.
Okay.
And it's going to be completely different than what some people may think is a 10. You know, someone might think that someone that's like 6 foot tall, bleach blonde, blue eyes is a perfect 10, while others might think someone that's got a little gap between their teeth, red hair, and green eyes is a 10. So it honestly comes down to what they're looking for. And sometimes, the hard thing about being in this kind of industry is you have to hear no a lot. And so you have, like, some people are going to tell me you're too skinny, you're too fat, your hair's not long enough, your eyes are brown, I don't want brown eyes, things like that. So it's like, I think the thing that really gets to people and why they let it tear them down so much is because I feel like they kind of fake the confidence that they have. Because personally with me, I'm not afraid for people to tell me no, because like I said, I know what I bring to the table and I know who I am as a person. So I'm not going to let something like an agency telling me
You're not
I'm
this
too
and this
tall
and that.
or I'm not tall enough, like, bring me down. What? No. It's a tricky business to be into. I feel like it's something everybody's trying to get into, and it's not a matter of like being better than the next person. It's you just have to be what they're looking for. And it varies all the time. You could be signed with somebody because that's what they're looking for specifically then, and they could drop you because that's not what they want anymore. And especially with this generation that we have now, I think the beauty standards are vastly different than what they were 10 years ago.
Okay, see, I'm so glad you brought that, because when you mentioned that, another question popped up in my head. Okay, we all know that there are a lot of celebrities out there, but the number one I'm going to say is the Kardashians. Now, from what I know, I'm not a beauty expert nor a model. Never going to be those things ever. But I will say, when the Kardashians crashed the scene, it almost seems like there were a lot of things that were being said about, Kim Kardashian and the other Kardashians. They set the beauty standard, and now I see that a lot of people, especially girls, they like to compare themselves, or they aspire to be the what Kim Kardashian looks like. That beauty standard has been set by them, and so it's so hard to. It's really interesting and a lot refreshing to hear that. No, you do not have to be a perfect girl with blue eyes, blonde hair, and this tall. But it's a refreshing thing to hear.
We also gotta
when
think-
you have the Kardashians, like they're the standard. I'm like, what?
We have never met these people in real life. Who knows if that's
Okay,
even
fair.
what they look like? I mean, social media is so full of so much fake stuff and so much Photoshop. You can't even, like, they might have extremely bad acne and botched lips. Like, you just never know until you meet somebody in person.
Yes, that is true. But what they portray, it's
I will say they portray a type of beauty that is a little bit unachievable if you don't already have the structure and the features of them. And some of it's fake. We all know this. I mean, I feel like we've been told it's fake. Nobody really knows. But I'm just
That's
going based
true.
off what I've heard because I'm a follower.
But it's just really frustrating because it doesn't. Why I find it frustrating is because, one, people like you that I like the way you are confident about yourself. I wish a lot of people are more like that instead of having to succumb to what they see on social media and having to go through like a mental battle about like, wow, I don't look pretty, even though they are pretty. It's just, that's why I'm saying the level that the celebrities like Kardashians have set kind of gives this what's that word? It's like unrealistic.
It's an unachievable standard.
Yes, when what I love about what you said earlier is like the gap teeth, freckles.
Unibrows are in too. I will say that.
What?
Unibrows.
Really?
Like, I've seen a couple.
Whoa. See, isn't that weird? It's like art is subjective and so is the beauty, but people are always
I
setting.
will say, I feel like it's more of, and this could honestly just be my personal opinion. I feel like
course.
the more luxurious brands of fashion have the most different models that I've seen.
Wait, let me repeat
Like
this.
the most, like-
luxurious brands.
Like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Michael Kors, all that stuff. I feel like they have a variety of people in their shows. Just from the ones I've seen.
Okay. I'm
And
following.
so then I look at, I've done some shows in New York, and I see a couple of the brands that I didn't walk for them, but they had girls that all looked the same. And so that brings me back to that you just have to be like what they're looking for.
Okay.
And so I think it's really neat to see the more higher end brands doing something a little different, because they have always been the people that, designers look up to because they're so successful in what they do.
Yeah.
And so I hope that the smaller business ones, start to put more variety into it as well. Because you would think the smaller brand people would be the one that are more exclusive with their models.
Yeah.
But that is not the truth. That is not the truth. And now this doesn't go for all of the small brand designers or anything, but I have seen more smaller brand designers stick with a specific look than I have with luxury brands.
See, that's funny because like Apple, I know this technology, but like how some other phone companies will model their, no pun intended, but they will model their phones after Apple. So that the way I thought about that with modeling is like if the smaller business are trying to do the exact same thing, they would follow what works for a bigger company and they would adapt that and say, okay, that works for Louis Vuitton. I'm going to do the same thing. So why shouldn't I try anything different if it works for them?
I feel like that's you could look at that two different ways. I feel like some people don't want to follow something, so they stick out and be different.
Okay.
But then if they don't stick out and be different, then they're doing something wrong. It just depends on how you look at it. It's so
Perspective
tough.
is everything.
There are so many rabbit holes in this kind of industry, whether it's photography, videography, all that kind of stuff. Like we could talk about this for hours.
Yeah, you gotta sign up for 8 hours. Okay.
It's a lot.
But oh my god, you got me thinking. Okay, we're gonna put a pause on those.
Yeah, let's change the route.
We're gonna take a break here for a second. Go ahead and take. Oh my gosh. Okay. All
And
right.
we're back. Action.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the break. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. If you like this episode, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe onto YouTube. I am running out of air to breathe. If you can follow us on Head Record for more content to see on that page. And if you're looking for photos and the portfolio of Summer, you can find her on Instagram. It's her name. That's it. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to unpack was you said meditating. The one thing I wanted to know is how has it helped you prepare for high pressure environment, especially runways? How were you able to find a method that works for you in order to handle the pressure that comes from having to be ready and getting all the clothes on and having the makeup done in a perfect way and then hit the runway to look as good as possible? Because apparently you say meditating is a superpower, so I need to know.
Okay, so there's so many different ways to meditate. So many. So definitely putting on some good like subliminal music. I know it sounds silly, but just kind of like
Subliminal?
maybe
What do you mean subliminal? Subliminal.
they're like
Atmospheric.
I'll show you what they are after this.
Okay.
Google subliminal music meditation. You'll find it. Choose whichever one you want.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I usually would either like maybe go in the bathroom, or
Okay.
if I'm like at an Airbnb or a hotel or my house or anything, just kind of sit in my room for a second.
Okay.
And I put my AirPods in and I'll listen to those, and you kind of just like, if you have any negative thoughts, which is mainly what anxiety is
Yes.
it's a bunch of negative thoughts, doubting yourself, you just kind of let them go. You push them all out, and you just control your breathing, and really, I kind of like my inner monologue, kind of talk myself up and give me good like affirmations and everything. And so that definitely helps a lot. Looking in the mirror and giving yourself good affirmations was like what I did to start like building up my confidence and things like that. But I'm more of a under pressure kind of person, so I feel like I do my
more
best
under pressure.
I feel like I do my best under pressure.
Oh.
So sometimes if I don't have time for that, I'll just go out there, put up a little wall behind my eyes so I don't like think anything bad.
Yeah.
And just do it to get it over with.
Why is that? Does it like drive you to when you know that, oh shit, this is for real?
I think it's more of like when you're such when you're such an anxious person, I feel like you're always expecting the worst. And so when it's under pressure, I feel like I don't have time to expect anything. And so I just jump into it head on. And sometimes it's the best performance I've ever had.
That's incredible because people with anxiety, especially if they don't have a handle on it, it just overtakes them. And then
It's crazy to see how different it is for everybody.
really,
Like my methods that I do might not work for some people. Some people might crack under pressure.
right?
And like wobble to their knees. Like it's just it's such a broad thing for everybody, and I feel like everybody handles it differently.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give it a try. Is there a method that you think you could recommend for me as a skeptic, but also a beginner? Breathing in? I'm already doing that right now.
We will talk
See,
after
listen,
this.
Listen, I'm breathing.
We'll talk more about it.
Wow,
I'll send you a Google
feel
Docs.
different.
I'll send you a Google Docs.
Okay, all right.
Step by step. I don't want to I'm not recommending it to anybody.
No,
it's helped me. It might not help you. It might help you. Some people think it's silly, but it's just what works for me.
Maybe the thought of meditating is not always what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's
Not sitting in like a dress with a bald head like this in a dark room and candles.
Not like Avatar.
No.
Okay. It can be even something simple as journaling, right?
I do a lot of journaling. I have 2 journals sitting on my nightstand actually.
Oh. And it has helped out with filtering out the thoughts.
One is a just a plain one that I can write on, and the other one is a like what are my intent? It like ask questions about what my intentions are for the day, and then at the end of the day I write in it again and put down key points that made me happy through the day and things like that. And it really, like, I feel the past couple months, and I feel like my friends can vouch for this, I've been in such a good headspace. Like I feel like I have been in such like just a good environment the past couple months, and it's like it's because I've started journaling. I've started really taking time for myself, not really pushing myself to do so much like I was the past couple months when I was doing all these shows and I was traveling a lot, and really just like knowing I don't have to be doing something all the time. I feel like I was running myself down
to the ground. There's a difference between being busy with unnecessary stuff versus being busy with the actual stuff that matters. So so what you're describing is kind of like burnout.
Yes, but I'm not burnt out now.
You're not burned out now.
Even with all the stuff that I've been doing the past month and a half with pageant preparation, it's just been smooth sailing. I've felt so at ease. Like, I am so happy right now, guys.
No, I'm serious.
I am so happy.
The reason why that's impressive because it's especially with social media, you have all these contributing factors to be able to get to that place. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy.
And I did not have to take a break on social media in order to be happy. I feel like a lot of celebrities be like, I'm taking a break.
Oh,
because they're in a bad headspace. It's like, girl, just do some meditation and you'll be fine. We'll see you in 2 days.
Get some Stanley. Have a Stanley. And
this is not sponsored, but it should be.
Oh. But okay. Show me some of the methods. But anyways, we're finally making a next question. I hope you're enjoying this so far. But now, could you share how you balance the demanding schedule of modeling with your personal life and your self-care routine?
I will say for the longest time, I did not know how to balance it. I did not. I was going and going and going. I was not giving any time for myself. I was not taking care of myself as good as I should have. Like, as far as not leaving my fucking house. Like, I should have stayed at home and, like, reset and relax. But no, I felt like I had to be doing something all the time. And I felt like if I wasn't doing any work, I wasn't making any progress. And so I was trying to book all these different things. And then I came to the realization that it is a time-consuming process to get even the least bit successful in modeling. And I will say, and this is a different topic we can get onto, this is not what I want to do long-term.
Whoa. You heard it first here at Hidden Record. That is the drum. That's a bomb that has been dropped in this episode. What? Are you serious?
I want to do it for as long as I can. I will say modeling is not a long-term job because, I mean, when was the last time you saw a 50-year-old runway model?
Okay, well, if you're well-known, if you actually make it, there are some people that actually, because they have a name brand, after the looks have been replaced with a new, younger person, but it's the name brand that still keeps them alive. Does that make sense?
But I will say I did a lot of theater in high school.
A what?
A lot of theater.
You were a theater kid?
I was a theater kid.
Oh.
And I really enjoyed it.
Right,
and
here we go.
Look, some of the people I met in theater are so insanely talented.
Yeah.
And I feel like because of the stereotype around it, they'll have a hard time being successful with it. But I will say, gosh, theater is so fun. Acting is so fun. And that is something I really want to get into. I feel like I have so many different personality traits, and I really like.
You're not schizophrenic?
I'm not schizophrenic.
But no, so you want to really?
I feel like, yeah.
No way.
I just love the thought of creating and telling a story through emotions and everything, and people do it in such different ways, and it's inspiring, and it's something I really want to take a leap into and give it a try. And so, I want to do some acting.
Okay, here we go again. Let's
You will see me in the next Top Gun.
Oh, you want to be in Top Gun?
No, I've never actually even seen Top Gun, but everybody liked it.
Okay, how do you not know, or how do you not? Top Gun 2, I watched it and I was blown away. How the fuck do you
I don't really watch movies very much. And if I do,
that's very offensive. That is strike 3.
No. Listen. If I watch movies, I watch the most nerdiest shit.
The what?
Most nerdy stuff. I am obsessed with Harry Potter. I actually, this past weekend, just finished the Lord of the Rings series. Love. Number 2, neck and neck with Harry Potter. So good. I like stuff like that. Like a long series that tells such a story. Love it.
Would you consider anime?
Actually, I've seen a couple of anime. My siblings are really big into anime.
Did they ever talk about Attack on Titans?
Yes, actually, for Christmas, I got my sister Autumn 2 Attack on Titans t-shirts.
You are, oh my gosh. That is the sweetest thing.
Shout out to Autumn.
Attack on Titan. I think if
I've never seen it, but she has said such amazing things about it, so I'm sure it's good.
I just finished it on The Hunt, and you are telling me this. Okay. Well, the nerdy stuff, the theater, I think that plays a lot well with being able to express through the body, because in theater, you obviously have to, it's not just the way you make your voice sound as loud, it's the way you express through the body language, and I think that comes very well with modeling. Also, the bum drop, really? What?
Yes.
That's crazy. Okay, so, all right. Okay. Take a step back. Wait. Why?
Why? Because storytelling. I wanna tell a story, and I really want to make people feel an emotion.
In what genre for acting that you could do?
I feel like you can, to be able to tell different stories and different variations is a skill set that not everybody is blessed with.
I agree with that.
And
so
I'm not
far.
saying that it's something that I could probably do, but it's something I would definitely want to try.
What do you well with the genre though? Because the reason why I'm asking which genre is because each of them requires a different way of developing methods in order to get into the character from that specific genre. So do you see yourself in like horror or romance, like Purple Hearts?
I
or...
could do romance. I feel like I could do sci-fi really well.
Whoa, sci-fi.
Horror, I maybe possibly. I don't know. The Nun scared me really bad, so I can't.
Bro, the Nun was the okay. Hold on, wait. We're gonna dive.
I feel like I don't have like a
you're talking about-
horror scream. Like you know how every like horror film actor has like, wow, they
scream.
really nailed that scared scream. I don't think I could do that.
Okay, but wait, we'll go into this. But you like the Nun, dude? The first
No, I watched it. It scared the shit out of me.
but you didn't like it.
I mean, if you go into depth about like the production and everything, it was a well-made film.
Did you see the part where they used the Jesus blood and put it in the nun's mouth underwater?
I'll try not to think about it actually.
But okay, you don't feel like you have the horror scream? What defines a horror scream though?
Like
You just shriek. Like you show that you are.
when I think of a horror scream, I think of like a little girl like screaming at the top of her lungs.
I think you could pull that off. We're not doing that in here, but what? Okay, so that's horror. Well, okay, horror does. Okay, have you seen the what Max? No, it's the with Mia Goth X. It's with Mia Goth.
I have heard of it. I don't think. No, I have not seen it.
Because like, okay, I actually have a better question. With the genre of horror, yes, you may say that you may not have the horror scream, but just because you don't have that doesn't necessarily mean you're excluded from a specific part of the genre under the umbrella of horror. There could be psychological horror. There could be thriller. I mean, that's kind of like the Scream, but you know what?
Yeah,
you know what
I would
mean?
definitely. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing it. I would definitely give it a shot. I definitely get scared easily. And I know it's fake, and I know everybody just has a costume and makeup on, but I'm still running up the stairs looking behind me when I get home.
Okay, fair. That is a fair, legitimate feeling. I do that too.
Like-
Okay, what about romance?
I could definitely do romance.
What kind of character are you describing? Rachel McAdams from The Notebook, kind of a character?
I could play that, or I also feel like I could play like. I don't want to say like I feel like I could do the heartbreaker too. Like
Really?
someone that like, not because I am that kind of person, but like someone that does someone dirty. I could do that.
Whoa!
I feel
Watch
like
out, guys.
a lot of men have hurt me.
Whoa!
I take that to heart.
Oh, okay. Here's some tape to put your heart piece back together.
It's all right. It's together right now.
Okay. Honestly, you know what?
Definitely comedy too.
Comedy?
I would kill a comedy movie. I have
What kind of comedy? Like
I have a
slapstick
sense of
comedy?
humor
or-
sent from the gods. I could do a comedy. Any kind of comedy.
What kind of comedy? Like, are you talking about like Seth Rogen kind of comedy, or
I'm thinking like grown-ups, white chicks.
Are you for
super
real?
bad-
Really?
Yeah.
White
Dude,
chicks.
I
I
would-
love
I
that
would-
movie.
Kill that shit. I would kill it.
Are you gonna be like the protagonist or the villain? Because like white chicks, you have
Can I hold
you have
this?
you have the yeah, you can go ahead. 1 second.
Just
we're
wanna-
just in- oh wow, we're getting her relaxed, guys. Wow. Okay. Is that line up?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're doing the same now.
Oh.
We gotta adjust mine too now. This interview now just became very laid back and just.
We got a lot to unpack here.
Yes. Okay. Grown ups and then white chicks and all that. Again, do you see yourself being a protagonist or a villain kind of a role?
I feel like I could do both. I want to do both.
You know what? Let's do a short film sometime soon.
I feel like it's easy to be the good guy, but it takes a lot to be the bad guy.
Like
Like you can't just not everybody can just be a bitch. you know?
Fair. That is fair. It takes a certain attitude
Yeah.
to pull that off.
Yeah.
Can you do it right now? Okay, I'm gonna be a good. Okay, I'll pretend to be a good guy. Hey.
Fuck you. See? That's I'm kidding. Cut that out.
This is the audition tape for. Okay, last question.
It made him laugh.
That's comedy. That's not romance.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Comedy is my romance.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
That's
nice.
how I reeled them in.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. Wow. Okay. So have you tried or have you started taking the steps to actively pursue that career, or are you still waiting at the right time? Because you did say you're still modeling now, but at what point do you see yourself taking the steps towards making that happen as an actor or actress?
I definitely think it's a big transition to make. And
Yeah.
so I can't say that I'm necessarily prepared to make that transition just yet, but I feel like there's a lot that goes into being an actress. Like there's a lot of things you need to learn. And while I did do, like, you can't just go up there, read a couple lines.
Well, I mean, okay, do you know Chris Pratt?
Well, okay.
His story was in a bar and he just met someone and he was like, you want to be in a movie? And he did not have any prior experience.
That's true. That is true, but I feel like to go as far as I want to, like, I want to know, I want to be prepared. Like, I want to know, I want to be able
okay.
to do whatever they want me to.
Okay.
Like, any kind of role.
Okay.
And so, I did theater in high school. I did a couple plays.
Okay.
I think I did, like, Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
And some other play where I had to play a crazy person.
You had to play a crazy person.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. But I did have to play a psycho. And so that was really fun. I actually just filmed a movie this past year where I was just an extra. I wasn't anything crazy, but it was really interesting to see like the setup and everything and how they do all that. And it's definitely a lot of preparation going into that kind of stuff. And I feel any career you go into is a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
With modeling, there's a lot of preparation that I don't think people really think about whenever they think of a model. They think it's just easy peasy, whatever, you look beautiful. But there's definitely a lot that goes into it, for sure.
Well, with the preparations, I think the way you want to approach, if you ever make the transition, is a smart move because you can never be too prepared to do stuff. Now, can you say the same when you were starting out? Did you feel like you were unprepared? Because I remember you said you didn't feel like you were so shy. People told you that you weren't this kind of look. How did you prepare mentally and emotionally to finally get to a place where people actually recognize you for who you are and how you bring to the table, what you bring to the table?
It was definitely, like, when I first started out, it wasn't anything that I thought was gonna become what it is now.
Yeah.
Of course. And so I didn't put any prep work into it or anything. I just kind of went in there and was like, oh, like, I didn't have any expectation that I was gonna come out with anything.
Right.
And so then I did, and then it's led to where I am now. And I definitely wish I would have been a lot more prepared back then and really decided that this was something I wanted to do because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So I didn't go in I didn't go in with everything I have. And so I definitely think now in everything that I do, I put a lot of effort into it and I put a lot of preparation into it. And I think that's definitely the thing that gets you noticed the most is, your hard work and your dedication to it. And so I think this past year was definitely probably one of my best years. My last fashion week was definitely my best season that I've had. And it was different from the ones that I've done before. The past 2 seasons, I've only done 2 shows and they were for the same designer for the fall and for the spring. But this past season, I did 6 different shows for 6 different people, and it was definitely it was a lot on me.
A lot,
but
I'm sure.
The feeling I got whenever I found out I made those auditions was something I will not forget. Like, it was just the best feeling ever, and I was literally so excited to wake up at 4:00 in the morning, go get my hair and makeup done, and all, nothing in the world cared to me. I was so excited to be a part of it.
Especially knowing you beat out the others that could have gotten the same role.
Well, I don't want to say that. I feel for the people that don't make it all the time because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not a matter of like you being better than them, maybe you worked a little harder that day.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And so maybe they'll work a little harder next year. Or they'll keep working towards it. Or maybe you inspired them with the way you did things, and so they'll work towards, learning from you and kind of doing similar things. And so that's definitely the big thing that I want to take into my career with me, is not to compare myself or to, oh, I made it, somebody else didn't, like I'm better than them. I don't want to go in with a I'm better than
That's a good
anybody
thing
mentality.
that's a good mindset
I
to
want to
have,
be
yeah.
There's some things that maybe you still don't know yet. Let me help you. Let me teach you. I just, inspiring is the biggest thing that I want to do in life.
Please don't lose that. I mean, we don't have enough people like that because, there's a lot of gatekeeping. It's like, oh, you're struggling? No, I'm not going to help you succeed because I'm already happy where I am. I don't want to feel threatened by. So that's a great thing to have. So don't lose that, please. Okay?
Never.
The other thing I wanted to know was criminal justice. Would you say... Okay, let me put a frame of context with it here. As a creative, we all know that we're signing up for certain things. We know that we're not going to be financially stable, or at least on a consistent basis. We're not going to be able to have a sustainable income that will ensure that we're going to survive. The other thing is that our career choices that we make in this creative industry will not be understood by especially our family, our friends. It may not be understood easily. So knowing that you could have gone into criminal justice and instead you ended up in this creative field, how have you felt? What do you feel about that since you made that decision to go into modeling? Knowing that criminal justice was a different path that provided those qualities that make you secure and ready to go, but you went to a different path that was like, you never know what's going to happen.
I will say I've got one life. So I might as well do what I love, and I might as well love what I do.
Preach, sis!
So
you heard it here at Hidden Record. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to go ahead, take a sip of water. Drink. So, you actually already got it started. All right, we're going to look through this. You actually answered this question. Okay, now, we already talked about how you got started in modeling. Now, what were some of the pivotal moments or achievements that have significantly shaped your journey since then? You did mention about the you did 6 shows for 6 people, but what were other achievements that you felt proud of?
I had a magazine come out in New York City last year. Yes.
How did it feel to be on paper?
Oh, insane. Like, it's such a surreal experience, and it's crazy. And it's just like people that go about their day on a day-to-day, like, are going to see that, they're not going to really know who I am at all. But just knowing that they've seen me in a magazine in New York City is crazy.
It's New York City, though.
I think over 20 magazines out down here, I will say.
Whoa.
I have tons of magazines out. And I give it all to... at one of my past jobs was a jewelry store, and they did a lot of ad work and magazine work. And so I was kind of the face of it for a long time. And so I have tons of magazines out with them. My Amazon commercials, which are insane. When I saw my first one, was crazy. Being a part of a film production was like a wow moment. And so really just thinking about all of it together and where I started and where I am now is just, it's crazy. And I mean, with the success that I've had, I feel like I don't give credit to it enough because it's not something I talk about very much.
Yeah.
Some people may know me as, oh, Summer, she's a model. And it's not ever something that I introduce myself as because I feel like there's a lot more to me than just what I do as a career. And so I like to think that I'm very humble about it. Sometimes I get a little awkward when people talk about me modeling and stuff because I feel like they really only talk to me because I'm a model.
There's a certain expectation.
I'm a very authentic person, and I want people to know that.
What would you change? And that specific mindset, and it's hard to
change that, especially when it comes to a larger group of people, what were some of the things you wish they could see differently than beyond just, oh, you're just a model?
I think one of my downsides is, since the fact that I am shy most of the times, it may come off as some people may think that I am better than them because I don't talk very much.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really bad resting bitch face.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost a little intimidating to some people. And so I feel like if they were to, give me a little chat and get to know me, I'm an amazing person.
See?
I'm so fun. I'm so funny.
Nerdy too.
I'm me.
She's a lord.
Give me my precious.
Dude,
Beckett
that
says,
movie was so good. Oh my God.
Do you want to play against Beckett says?
That movie
What
was
is
so good.
air? Cuts the air.
Oh, what's it got?
In its pockets.
Wait, no. He said, "What
like-
do I have in my pocket?"
He calls him Master. He calls Frodo Master. You talking about Lord of the Rings, right?
Wait, what?
Are you talking about Lord of the Rings?
Well,
That's what-
I was talking about.
That's what the thing is from.
It was about not Frodo, but it was about the Baggins, the earlier.
Bilbo? You're talking about The Hobbit?
Yes. Yes.
Love that too.
Yes. Okay. What I would say. You know what I found really attractive? It was the tall elf girl and the short dwarf. I was like, the
Yes, in The Hobbit, right?
yes,
Yes.
I found that really attractive. I was like, see, short people can get it too.
Short Kings.
Beckett says.
Can you do a Gollum voice right now? It's like you have to scratch your voice, like, just say the line.
Where's
Hold on. I'm gonna.
precious?
I feel like I gotta work that one up. How do you like?
Where's
It's like
Where's my precious? Yes.
oh, you remember the scene where
No, you're a murderer. Murderer. Leave us alone.
Oh man, it's crazy because I literally just watched that before I came here.
Really?
So his voice is like engraved in my brain right now.
bro, the Andy Serkis, forever good. He's a good talented voice actor. But anyways, I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had fun though, but okay. Anyways, I actually forgot what we were talking about, but we're gonna move on. So, what drew you to specifically editorial and runway modeling, and how are you working towards becoming better in those specific areas?
Okay, so this brings me back to what I said in the beginning about
Here we go.
editorial and runway being drastically different.
Okay.
So, editorial is basically just page work. So
Wait, what?
you don't
paid work.
page work. So like
Page-
magazines.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
don't do no runway or anything. You basically put on clothes and they take pictures of you. But the thing that is so cool about editorial is the artistic difference from that and runway is crazy because you honestly kind of let your creativity go wild at these shoots
Okay.
to get the perfect image. And if you look at like Vogue covers and things, it's these crazy dramatic eye makeups and these crazy outfits that you would never see like on a day-to-day basis somebody walking down the street, which is the
Right.
cool thing because magazine work is basically just stuff you can't actually
Right.
wear. So it's definitely more creativity and artistic for sure. They do all the crazy things, crazy props. You're shooting for hours at these magazine shoots. And I feel like you get to let your creative side show a lot more than when you're on the runway. And what I like about the runway is being able to, you showcase, people's designs, what they've worked hard for. They put so much time into dedication into making these things, and they are so creative with it, and they tell us you get to tell a story with it.
In a runway?
In runway. So the way I like to look at it is you can't let the clothes wear you. You have to wear the clothes.
Oh, that is a nice.
And so
Really? Okay.
be able to make the clothes come to life, you have to I feel like whenever you tell a story in runway, it's all about your like aura and like how you're showcasing it, and that's telling the story. And so if you don't have like the confidence, or you don't have what I say, my tip and trick for whether I'm doing photo shoots or runway or anything, I can't remember who told me this, but I've used it ever since, is whenever you see camera, you look directly in the lens and you make love to the camera.
Okay.
And I have been using it for years.
Wait,
it's like it gives you intense eye contact. And so I feel like you tell the biggest story with your eyes.
Oh, okay. And your eyes are the windows to your soul too. So you try to show that to. Okay.
So you like, I'm staring into this camera lens as if I'm staring into somebody's soul. And so you just do that all the time, whether it's for photo shoots or for runway. Pictures come out amazing.
That's interesting because especially people who are very new at the model, they get shy. They instantly stiff up and they get locked up when they see, oh god, camera. They can't.
That's what I tell a lot of new coming models that I meet that I do photo shoots and stuff with. I tell them that, and it's helped me so much.
Yeah.
Like it's my little secret trick.
Secret trick revealed only at Hit Record. Subscribe to this channel. You will find more super non well-known tricks that will guarantee you 100% results. And that tip is look at the camera. Make love with it. You can be a male or female. You have a female gaze and a male gaze.
You might as well just go ahead and put a ring on that camera's finger.
Yeah.
I see you.
I'm gonna just open up that shutter wide open. You like your focus lens long or short? How wide do you want your aperture to go? You want shallow or deep?
This is amazing.
Yeah. I'll click the right buttons on that camera body. You know what I'm saying? You want me to put on the lens on you?
I
can do that right now.
I think they like it.
That's how I talk.
Look, you just made the most intense moment with that camera. Everybody's gonna be able to feel it.
I'm gonna put my SD card in your camera slide.
All right, and this is where we're gonna take a break. Take a sip of water after that one.
Okay, that's good. Now, okay, cool. Having, what did you say about the?
We get so sidetracked.
Oh my god. I love that answer you have with the editorial. Okay, editorial. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
editorial.
yes.
Do you feel like you prefer editorial, or which one do you prefer, editorial or runway? Because you said that editorial is has more creative freedom, whereas runway you have to walk in a certain way to tell the story. Which one do you prefer?
It's like 50-50. I love runway because I get to walk in front of a bunch of people. You know, a bunch of people are looking at me. Like,
yeah,
I love it. It's like the adrenaline rush you get when you're on a runway is, oh god, it's mind blowing. It's amazing. But
people looking at you, and then you're just like showing off
and then you see Getty image pictures of yourself, and that's like crazy. That was one of those like I made it moments.
The Getty,
yeah,
really. In the world of modeling, is Getty one of the biggest achievements you could ever get, just to be able to get the photos?
I mean, I wouldn't say like the biggest achievement, but it's definitely a step up when Getty Images posts you on the website. Are they usually in, like you said, in New York, or which one? It was in New York. Where dreams are made of. You can put that on your resume. Summer, is it Rose? I remember Rose. Summer Rose Eisenman, 2023. Getty Images runway. Hire me. Sometimes they sell these pictures for like $600. I'm sorry, what? Sometimes they sell the pictures for like $600. What? What size to print? Well, I mean, like, that's crazy. It depends. I would have to do that. Yeah. No way. Hold on. Let me. Okay, we're fact checking. Right. Fact checking. Fact checking. Right. What? That's crazy. Yeah. There's a lot here. Oh. Come on. Don't tease us. Look. The large print is $499 from this show.
I'm moving to New York. What? Whoa!
I mean,
you see
I
that
really-
face? You see that face right now? That's a flex face right now. That's crazy.
I don't think.
Dude, you know what you look like? You
look.
look like this. Yeah. Getty image. Mm. I see.
I don't think people actually buy them though.
But you just said.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy that they're trying to sell it for $499. But I don't think people actually.
Wow.
I don't know.
Who knows? The fact that it was on
Fact
there is
check.
crazy. Fact check complete. Okay, now having experience in modeling in Florida, New York, and soon in LA, how have these different environments influenced your approach to modeling and your career trajectory? Because the reason why I'm asking that is each areas have different sets of experiences that will form your growth as a model, and each of them will give you a different set of skills that you would never have gotten otherwise. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say, in this area that we live in, it's been a little easier just because it's not like you're not really like in a competition with any, like not many people here do it, I feel like.
Right.
Unless you go down to more like Miami and stuff, which isn't really my cup of tea.
No.
I'm more into like high-end fashion runway stuff, and I feel like Miami is basically just swimsuit modeling.
Right.
Which I definitely would love to do, could do, but New York definitely, you're going with, oh God, so many people. There's people from other countries that you work with. Tall Amazonian princess women that I've never seen in my life before there. And it's it's really it's inspiring, all these people coming from all these different places, and you all shared like the same passion for what you do. And so that has definitely given me like a how would you say it?
Great appreciation.
Like a
of what?
confirmation for like
okay.
why I do what I do.
Okay.
Now, I haven't been to LA yet, but I definitely have heard from some LA models that I do know that, it's influencer central. So I feel like a lot of their stuff there is kind of similar to Miami, because in a lot of like Miami Swim Week, you see just a ton of influencers walking runways. And so I feel like that's kind of the same vibe for LA.
When you say influencers, as in those that have to hire?
As in like, social media models, which are very different from
Yes.
runway and stuff like that. So like social media models and TikTok influencers and stuff like that are definitely the top people that I feel like you see on LA runways and Miami runways.
I can actually agree with you on that.
But I haven't been to any of these places yet, and I'm sure they still have a lot of a vast variety of different kind of people. But I feel like in New York there are so many different varieties of models that you see on the runway there.
Yeah.
And they're not somebody that have like 20 million followers on Instagram. They're people that have, under 10,000. Some of them have like 900 followers, which I don't think a following count ever
it
matters
shouldn't.
for the kind of work you can
shouldn't.
put on.
It shouldn't really be the... I don't...
And that's what sucks, because in this day and age,
That shouldn't really...
that's what everybody cares about.
Okay, you're telling me beauty standards needs to also account for the number of followers? The follower has nothing to do with beauty.
You could be the most beautiful woman in the world. You're like a little secret gold piece that nobody knows about. And you might have like 500 followers. But you are just as beautiful as someone that has 30 million followers.
Okay. Yeah, social media really just intensified the ease of... Well, okay, it's ironic because you said someone who looks just as beautiful as someone with 30 million, how come they haven't been discovered yet? That's the thing. It's like social media claims to have this ease of access to people, but by being that person who has the smallest number of following, it kind of can feel discouraging to know that when you have been confirmed, when you've been told that you look beautiful and all of that, and then having to compete, that's another layer that we don't need. Okay, well, I mean, it could be... it makes things a lot harder. Do you feel the same way with the number of following, and then with the other people that you've come across to have like at least 10,000 to 20? Well, how do you feel about?
I mean, I've definitely had moments, and I'm gonna be so real. I've had moments where I'm like, wow, these people do exactly what I do, but have more followers than me. But then I'm like, we're all so different, and the amount of followers I have does not showcase my work.
Preach.
You know, there's people, I see people's posts all the time, and I don't like it on I don't double tap it on Instagram, but I see it and I see what they do and I like what they do. Doesn't mean I have to give you a little double tap heart to show that I appreciate what you do. And I feel like everybody just uses social media as a way to, like, if you're not, like, being posted on social media, or you don't have so many followers on social media, or like you don't use social media to your advantage, then you're nobody.
And that is such an unnecessary thing, because that's not going to help a lot, and especially younger people growing up, and the anxiety, that anxiety will already be intensified when, I'm really curious with having to learn how to deal with the different beauty standards across all the board. How have you been able to manage your criticism and feedback from social media when you expose yourself to different kinds of people that look just as beautiful? How do you handle the inner dialogue that you have within yourself when you compare? Okay, wow, she looks beautiful. How am I not? I want to look like her. How does that make sense?
I will say, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm weird or something, but, like, anything that people have ever said about me on social media does not, it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, I honestly could care less. And I think I think it's a matter of, like, you have to truly be comfortable within yourself to not give a shit what anybody thinks.
Because they also don't know you either.
Because I've also come to learn that the way I see myself might be completely different than how you're seeing me right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I can agree with that.
And I've heard that so much over the past, like, definitely going into the industry and stuff. Some people, you might look completely different to some people than what you see in the mirror of yourself.
Social media is not like that Wizard of Waverly Place. Everything's not what it seems. Okay, we're gonna get that, and then you actually gave. Now, what are some of the key advices that you can give to aspiring models that are aiming to catch the eye of the top agency, especially in creating their own portfolio and developing a unique style that can express their art, the love, their passion for modeling? What are some of the things that you can give to people that want to do this exact same thing that you do?
The number one thing I will say is that to have good quality content, it's not going to happen overnight. Like, it's, and I mean it when I say it is such a process. I've been in this industry for 3 years now.
Okay.
And so you really, it's a matter of learning to step out of your comfort zone and stepping into different things, and, doing different kind of shoots with crazy makeup, and you might have tons of clothes on. Some people, you might not have no clothes on. It really just depends, and it expands your portfolio, and having that exposure is really important to show that you can do different things, which is why it was so cool when me and Amanda and you did that one shoot with the tinfoil looking background, with the cool metallic makeup and stuff. That was so different for me, and I put that on my comp card, and I got so many compliments and feedback about it in New York City about it.
Really?
I did. I told Amanda that. It was so different. It's not something I've ever done before, and that's what people want to see. They want to see different. And so don't go out of your way to try to be somebody you're not, because the thing that makes you different from somebody is being who you are. And so I think definitely sticking to yourself, not comparing yourself to other people, and really, if this is something you want to be successful in, have your head straight forward and get on that road to be successful. And so you can't let and I think the big thing about being in that industry is people get caught in the high life of, people are knowing me now. They think I'm beautiful. All these parties I'm getting invited to, like all this exposure and stuff. And I think that's when people really start to fail, is because they get off the path. And so they get caught up in the high life, and then they go to all these parties. They waste all, self-care is a big thing. You're wasting all your self-care on going out and meeting all these new people and stuff, and trying to get people to notice you. And then, boom, your career's lost.
the need to look for the validation when you start looking for the external validation to have nothing that doesn't add value to your career path. That's yeah.
And I will say don't like go to parties and stuff like that, but I feel like you have to have a balance.
Be smart about it.
Yeah.
There's so many people. It's one thing I would say it's hard to watch is when you have certain people that as friends, they're so talented, but then they make choices like what? You're gonna throw that all away for nothing?
Yeah, I can relate to that one.
Yeah. Here.
Oh,
Toast to the ones that
To
have
hit
lost
record.
their race. But no, it's like I really appreciate hearing that because it's another confirmation to hear because I don't think we are told enough to be acknowledged for what we do, but also to be reminded that we just need to keep pushing forward. And I really appreciate what you said that we need to find the right people that we're always going to surround ourselves with in order to keep steady throughout the journey. All right, guys, make sure you follow the steps. I cannot give you 100% guarantee, but if it does, send some money. And
I will
some
link my
money,
Venmo
too.
and Cash
I
App.
want some money from whatever success you're going to get. Okay, now we're diving into creative tips process. What tips would you give to photographers to make working together go smoothly, and how do you change your style to match the different photographers and their unique projects?
So this is a good one.
Let's
go. I will say, I'll give you what's driven me away from following through with shoots and what is definitely. So, when a new photographer reaches out,
Ooh,
you don't know these people.
Yes.
Like there's so many fake weird people out there. So how do you know if they're legit or not? So my biggest thing that I've had some of my favorite photographers tell me is, bring a friend with you. Bring a friend to make you more comfortable.
Okay.
Like they give you different things that you can bring or that you can do to make yourself more comfortable around them. And I think that is the biggest thing for me.
Really?
Is
Okay.
if they're trying just as hard to make me feel comfortable, then I know like it's a good idea. I mean, it's gonna be out of my comfort zone.
Right.
So but it pushes out the negative thoughts of I'm about to get kidnapped.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And so I think when you have photographers that are like wanting to meet in weird secluded locations and stuff, and they're like, I have a certain story of when I did something specific. I'm not going to put any names out there, and I don't know how to word the story to where basically I brought a friend with me to an event, and somebody got very offended that I brought somebody with me.
Oh my.
And so that gave me a really bad feeling, and I have not talked to them since or done any work with them since.
Yikes. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
They actually were. No, I can't even say it. But yeah, anyways, yeah, it was.
Long story short.
There are some scary scenarios there's been one scary scenario that I've had because I have not put myself in that situation again, nor will I let myself go in that kind of situation again. So I definitely do a lot of preparation before I agree to shoot with somebody new.
Okay.
I will say.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing is definitely
Safety is
when they
very
want you to be
important.
comfortable. And as far as like, how do I put on different looks for different photographers? That brings me back to like me wanting to do acting and stuff because you have to put on different personas you're playing a character almost
Right.
when you do photo shoots. So you have to kind of put yourself in the mindset of what you're portraying. And so I think that's the biggest thing. And really knowing what you want to come off as is like it's ideal. So if I'm supposed to be playing like an underwater mermaid, you kind of have to put yourself in. I'm a mermaid
With a seashell. Ooh.
like you have to give it your all.
Just like little Ariel. Oh. Oh man.
You gotta come up to the surface.
Wait, how did we meet? Oh,
I
you did some research. I know that's not the tip, but you did some research, and making sure that you're whoever you.
Yeah, making sure that they want me to be as comfortable as possible is a big tip. We're still
How
talking
did you
about
feel when you were with shooting with me, Amanda? Because we didn't know you at the time, but so I really wanted
Keno, Amanda is my bestie. I love her. No. You guys bring such a fun energy into the workplace. It's like it's definitely good vibes. I have never not felt comfortable around you guys. Amanda kills it with the makeup. We be chatting it up.
Yeah.
You be hyping me up behind the camera. Like it's good vibes. Love it. Love it. Love it.
That's such a big important thing because there, like you said, there are other people that have, different intentions.
Yeah.
And
Which is sad, but it's
Even-
true.
even more intensified when you're going to LA, or well, if you want to go to LA and then New York, it just gets even more. It becomes more important to take the time to do research. So, I'm glad you haven't been murdered yet.
Still here.
Please stay alive in 2024, please. Okay. How do you handle getting advice and dealing with tough situations during a photo shoot and where you had a big disagreement with a team or a solo photographer on a project? And how did you work through that process out?
It's kind of hard for me to answer this because I haven't really. The thing about being a model is you get no say.
The what?
Being a model, you get no say.
No. Oh, no say. Okay. Got it.
You don't get a say in your hair. You don't get a say in your makeup or your outfit or anything. Like, whatever. They are paying you to basically do what they want, kind of thing.
But does this come
I
with
mean,
the
you-
creative freedom to like?
Well,
you-
yeah.
you're-
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, looks wise, you don't really get a say.
Okay.
But
Following.
as far as like you can tell the story how you want, kind of thing. So like with the poses and stuff you do, you have free range with that. I haven't really had any kind of disagreement with anyone. I'm very comfortable in doing a lot of different things. So there hasn't been anything yet that I have not willingly wanted to do. I will say.
Wow. I think
I'm very particular with what I do.
right.
So I haven't had any incidents yet.
I think knowing what you want definitely filters out the kind of projects. I would imagine there have been some, especially what is the TFP? It's trade for print.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a system of your own that filters out the ones that you don't want to do and the ones that make you say, hell yes, I want to do that. So I think that's how you've been able to avoid that kind of situation.
And I'm not afraid to say no either.
Yeah.
That's also a big thing. Never be afraid to say no.
See, that's hard.
I will say it is hard to say no.
Yeah. How do you?
But there are certain points that something will get to where you're like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Like this is a no-go.
With trade for prints, one thing I never really or still haven't done enough research into trade for me is because what you're giving as a model, you're giving your time to give the other photographer to get the stuff, the results that both of you are working towards to. But trade for prints is not profitable in any way because yes, it's getting work for your portfolio, but at some point you're gonna have to make money for the time that you're putting into your passion. So how have you been able to transition from doing trade for prints into finally getting some or seeing some profit in what you do?
Now, I've done a lot of trade for print work, I will say, and that's what I mean whenever I say it's a very slow process, because you have to hit a certain mark in order to make profits, kind of thing. I feel like depending on where you're at in your career, like when I had first started, there was no way I was going to make money from it.
Right.
You know, it was slowly starting off. I was just doing like local photo shoots and stuff. Going to it hasn't been up until lately within the past year
Yeah.
that I've had people talk. I've talked to people that are in the industry and who pay their people for the kind of work they do, and they're like,
Right.
look, you've got to start getting paid. Like what you do is it's very talented, and you're giving a lot of your time and a lot of your energy, and sometimes you're even traveling to these people at no expense. And so it's definitely been up until this past year that I've really been like, look, like I have what I need in order to get like on as far as like runways and stuff like that. So like trade for print isn't an option for me anymore. I have so much work. I have a local photographer that I use consistently. We dick around and do fun photo shoots all the time, which is enough for me, but I don't need to do trade for prints from new photographers anymore. And so it's definitely harder down here because I feel like a lot of people don't intend on getting paid for their work. So when it's not an option, it doesn't bother them as much. So that's why when I bring up to some people down here wanting to get paid, they kind of look at me funny, and then they kind of think about it for a second, and they'll sometimes either they'll want to do it or they'll back out and be like, look, I can't afford it. And so it's definitely different in New York, I would say, because I feel like it's a higher pace place and there's more money there.
And there's a certain expectation because fashion is a big thing there. And so it's an environment where that has been fostered to a point where people expect certain things. Whereas down here,
there's not really many expectations.
it's like a tourist area. So,
you know, everybody goes on the beach and takes photo shoots. Why are they going to pay somebody for that?
I want to go to the beach and look like I'm a mermaid. Boo freaking who.
Anybody can stand in front of a wall and take a picture.
Oh my God. It's
Anybody can do one of these.
yes. But I think it's also we all love our passion so much that we get blinded by the love for it that we also need to sustain ourselves. And so I'm really glad that you were able to get to a point where that no longer is an option to take on free work or trade for print. That's a great thing too. That's a milestone in and of itself.
And I was like, it's never and the thing I would tell myself all the time when I was doing trade for print is like, I don't do this for the money. It's never been about the money for me. I don't need the money. And so I was just doing, I do it because I love to do it, and I love the intentions that I have behind what I do. And it's still not about the money for me, but if this is something I want to do as a full career wise, I'm going to have to make a portion of that for the money.
Right.
Not meaning I can't give all of my passion into it anymore, but
Thank you for being part of Amanda and my shoots.
he says this as I did trade for print.
Thank you so much.
No, I won't do any more trade for print now if I don't willingly want to do it. But what we did was sick.
Thank you.
It was sick.
How do you build relationships with photographers and other like makeup artists, hairstylists? How do you build those relationships, and how has working with those different type of people contributed to growing your career as a model and staying up to date with the industry, because it always changes?
So as far as photographers go, I think really getting to know your photographer is important. I love one of my main things is hearing people's stories.
Really?
I love to hear their story of, why do you want to do this? What got you into this? Like, what's the backstory? And so that interpretation gives me a lot of confidence in their work, which then gives me a lot of confidence in portraying their work for them, kind of thing.
Okay.
And so I definitely think having a good relationship with your photographer is a big part of your success. Kind of coming to a group, like telling them your do's and your don'ts, what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do. Some people don't do that. As far as makeup artists go, and I will say I've had some times where I've had a makeup artist do my makeup, and I've been like they're paying you to do this.
Yeah.
Because my big thing is nobody knows my face better than I do.
Okay. Yes.
So the way I do my makeup myself is because I know what looks best on me,
right?
Or I know what I like on myself. And so the hard thing about dealing with makeup artists is getting in touch with your makeup artist and really letting them know what kind of skin you have, or Like, do you have big eyes? Do you have small eyes? Do you have small lips? Do you have big lips? Do you have acne? No acne? Dry skin? Oily skin? Like, those are such big factors into how your makeup's going to turn out at the end. And if you have shitty makeup on, you're going to probably go home and cry at the end of the day. You're not going to feel like your best self in front of the camera. But when you give that connection to a makeup artist and really dive deep into what works best on your face, your makeup's going to be beautiful, perfect, flawless cover girl. And then you're going to feel your best in front of the camera.
So basically saying taking the time to understand why they do what they do helps you build that specific kind of relationship that both of you strive to produce the best results. Because you want to look good. Oh, sorry, I'm not pointing at.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at.
I'm a scenario. You want to look good? Tell me what you need. And then it's such a great relationship it's a dynamic that I think it's almost always hard to find because, there's some that's just, no, you need to, no, this, done that way. I don't care. What do you feel about this? Go get up there and start posing. Mm-hmm. I don't need to hear your sad life story. Let's fucking go. Get out. So,
yeah.
Remember, guys, relationship is
when you have a good relationship, you put out good work, and in the end, get you better success.
Win-win. Be like Gollum.
We're not doing
I
that.
want my perfect relationship with the worst that is.
I don't know why I said that. Okay. We're almost done. So, from a model's perspective, what qualities or practices make a photographer /filmmaker easy and productive to work with? Because I remember you mentioned about this. You want to do research into them. Now you feel comfortable. But when you are looking, what are some of the initial impressions that you tend to have when it comes to looking for a photographer or filmmaker? What qualities do you find that make them like, whoa, they do that? Let's go. Like, for example, with Amanda, oh my gosh, she loves making things organized and has a certain way of presenting things to you. And whereas with me, it's like, yo, let's do this mermaid shoot, silver background. We're gonna make it look freaking good. What qualities do you look for?
So, the thing that makes my photographer that I have here my all-time favorite is we make vision boards.
The what?
Vision boards.
Vision boards. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So those are like my number one for like such a good quality photo shoot is having it. They give you all these different pointers on what they're wanting, but kind of make it your own in your way. Like they'll give you outfit inspo, but you don't have to have this exact outfit. So you kind of get to make it your own. And so doing vision boards is like a really big deal for me. So I can kind of get an idea on what kind of picture I want to put out. And another thing is if we're doing it as a social media aspect, I like to see photographers that have such a variety on their social media. They might not do the same filter. They might do a black and white here or there. Something might be really smoothed out, like a beauty headshot or something, or they could do a really natural picture. Like just seeing that they have such a broad spectrum of work is like, those two are like those are my only two. Like those are my top two.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, if you're looking to work with Summer, remember to summarize vision board, make them look really good, and two, have a diverse work of portfolio. Seriously, except do not make it explicit.
Do not try to ask me to work with you having like freaking the same filter on every single picture, and everybody's posing the same.
Yes.
Give me some variety, some sauce, some seasoning.
Yes. What? Yeah.
Some salt and pepper.
Like Summer's like a soup. You add the more stew.
I need bay leaves. I need thyme.
Yes,
I
oregano.
Need basil. Like,
Cajun.
a little bit of spice.
Okay, great. Actually, one question. Has there been a specific type of work that you've always wanted to do, but you never had a chance to do it yet?
I want to do, I'm really into vintage things. I like old-fashioned everything. Like, I think the older...
Keno, reminder, set one up with Amanda and start talking about vintage photo shoot with Summer. Continue.
But I like gosh,
Like retro?
I wish we were still in the
60s?
day and age where I could just wear a big dress outside and it be normal.
Wait, what do you mean big dress? As in
As in, like,
Victorian
a-
style or?
Either that or maybe like a good like I could do the 1950s where they got the cute little ankle length poodle skirts and stuff.
Whoa.
Like, not everything that happened in that day and age, but the fashion aspect of it.
Yeah.
God, I love old fashion. Like vintage fashion is so beautiful, like nightgowns, and they were all in like women were just so into like everything girly and everything. I say that as I'm wearing literal Nike Dunks and cargo pants, but like gosh, like I'm such a girly girl at heart.
Mm-hmm.
So like dresses and everything, I eat that shit up. It's my favorite. So I definitely want to do like a Victorian themed photo shoot or like very vintage, like 1920s or something.
It's funny. Amanda wants to do a Maria Antoinette photo.
Marie Antoinette. Tell her to text me.
You text her. Right
Amanda,
now.
I'm coming for you.
No, she.
Yes, I'm down. 100%.
We went to New Orleans and she saw a portrait of Marie. How do you say it? Maria?
Marie Antoinette.
We saw it and that's where she wanted to.
Yeah,
Really?
I'll text her after this.
I'll show you the board. We actually already have one up.
Perfect.
Talk to her after the. You
Okay.
need to though.
Coming
okay.
soon.
Okay, all right. See, not retro. Okay, really? What?
I-
Why that versus? Because like I know there's modern stuff, but then okay, wait. Let me think about it. Modern becomes boring, whereas it's so funny. The old becomes the new. But why specifically the retro?
I don't. There's just something about like the old days that really just like sparked something in me. Like
Nostalgia, but like that, or
I want to live in a castle one day.
oh,
Like I would honestly move to Europe and live in a castle if I could. I think I'm an old soul. I like old music. I have a massive throwback playlist on my phone. I think that's like 400 songs, and some of them are from like the 1920s.
I'm assuming you have a vinyl set too.
I don't personally
That's
have a
definitely
record player,
that's-
but my mom does have a record player, and we have the biggest bookshelf of records you've probably ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to hit her up real soon. Okay. Wow, retro is the new. Now, okay, from a model's perspective, what... Oh, we already asked that. Sorry. What can photographers, filmmakers learn from working with models like you to enhance their creative process? Because some filmmakers and photographers, including me, I have been in that situation where I'm so dead set on a specific process that it kind of like clashes with the model's way of expressing themselves. So for example, like I want to do this in a certain way where you need to act this way, but then the model's like, well, I don't know if I think there's a better way of doing this, but we don't hear that. We're just so dead set on, no. We're just so focused on what we want.
I think you have to give like an even dynamic of it. So like maybe do a couple shots where it's the specific style you're wanting. Maybe let them do a couple shots of, putting your ideas together. Mm-hmm. I think is what creates the most beautiful picture. And I will say I have seen a couple of photographers where they have a certain style of photography that they do, and it's consistent. But then it grows out a little bit, and then they never step out of their comfort zone. And so I think trying to inspire them to do something different, and maybe this process has worked for your past shoots, but let's switch it up. Let's do something different. But I think it only kind of works if you have a good relation. You make that connection with your photographer in the beginning to where you can put your ideas together, because at the end of the day, you guys are both creative artists.
Right.
So, you both have a bigger picture that you're trying to portray. And so I think putting your ideas together and it not being so fucking stubborn, because I think that's a really bad thing in the industry. Some people are just so stubborn and then their work looks like shit.
Yes.
So being flexible, open to new ideas, stepping out of your comfort zone is personally what I think makes a extremely successful photographer.
Be flexible and don't be set in your ways, guys. Big picture.
Big picture.
It is 2024. My goodness. It's been 15 days since 2024, 23 turned into 2024. So, as you look forward to the exciting goals that you have set for yourself for this year, both professional professionally and personally, what are they that you're looking forward to? Like, how do they? Oh my God! Let me repeat. I'm so excited to do this. What are some of the exciting goals that you have set for yourself this year in 2024 as a model? I'm gonna keep it simple like that. I don't like that question the way I phrased it here. Anyways, continue.
They're a surprise.
Huh?
They're a surprise.
Surprise, bitch! Tell us.
Okay. I will say, and I'm going to make my debut speech because I've
Okay.
not spoke on this yet, but I will not be attending New York Fashion Week in February. I will not be at the spring shows, which I'm very sad about. But I will say I have projects coming up that I can't talk about.
NDA, guys.
Can't talk about yet, but I have so many exciting projects coming up this year.
Yes.
I will say I will be in Fashion Week in September, which is always my go-to, but I will say I am very looking forward to making my debut in Los Angeles this year.
Whoa.
So I'm very excited for that. But I have really exciting things that I'm just not going to tell yet.
All right, fine. That's
If I tell them now, somebody's going to steal
not
my
besties
idea.
enough.
Somebody's not even my besties know. They won't know until it pops up on social media.
Okay, well, I am so glad to hear that. Now, that's professionally. What about personally? What are some of the goals that you have set for yourself on a personal level that you feel like you want to get better at?
I am excited to see my growth for this year. I saw a lot of growth within myself last year, and I went through some scenarios last year that I feel I handled a lot better than what I would have in the past. And so this year I am really taking myself into consideration, and so I am all about putting energy and time into myself this year, and not letting things distract me from the path that I'm on, because I feel like I was.
Yep, it died.
At least this one's still going. But yeah. So lots. I'm definitely looking forward to this year.
2024. It's going to be the year that will change.
Yes.
For sure. Assuming the world doesn't end. We're going to the closing. Now, as a model, how do you wish to influence the world of fashion and photography and modeling? And what kind of impact do you hope to leave on this in those multiple industries, starting with modeling?
Gosh, I know it's hard to tell because the industry is changing so fast. It's always changing, and it's moving at such a fast speed. And so with the younger generation coming up that we have, and especially, confidence is going to be my number one thing for the people, aspiring to work in this kind of industry coming up. And so I feel like if you're not confident in yourself, you can't really put your best work out there, because it's kind of easy to tell when somebody's not confident, for sure, in front of a camera. And so I think my biggest impression that I want to leave is that, I came from a small town, so it never matters where you come from. Mm-hmm. It just matters about your dedication to what you want to do. Like, how passionate are you for what you do? Mm. And so I want people to know that it's okay to be different. It's okay to have things that you deal with outside of your career, and it really molds you into how you put your work out there. And so, because if you're dealing with maybe a breakup or a divorce or something behind closed doors, you're gonna be in this weird funk about all of it going on, and so you're gonna get in front of the camera and it's gonna be easy to tell. And so I feel like really just finding peace within yourself and knowing deep down in yourself that you can do it. You're confident in what you do. Don't compare yourself to everybody, and do what you love. Mm. The biggest thing I want people to know is to just do what you love. It doesn't matter what your reasoning is for it. It's just, if you love to do it, and you have a passion for it, you should do it. And you should love that you do it.
We need to hear more of that more often because we're often being pushed down to a path that just because something is safe may not necessarily give back to the may not provide the exact same happiness or passion that makes you really feel like you lived your life. Because like you said earlier, you have one life, and the fact that you took the risk to be a model, and you never know what opportunities are going to come your way. It might be, oh my gosh, guys, imagine this. The next Stranger Things spin-off. Summer. Oh, wait, no, that's horror. Never mind. The next, what? Okay, Lord of Rings, clearly she's a nerd. Lord of Rings could be the high
I'm going to be the
elves.
next Hermione.
Huh?
I'm going to be the next Hermione in Harry Potter.
Okay, can you pull up these smart? Hermione, she has. Okay, You have to act in a certain way that comes off as very pompous and the intellect that she has. Can you do that? Okay.
If I took the time and dedication and the research into it, I can do anything.
No, I want to. Okay, I get that, but I want to know if you could pull off the Hermione Granger. I'll be Harry Potter. Well, Hermione, I just don't think that the magic that we're seeing here okay, I'm sorry, whatever.
Talk about a spell. Like, try to tell me how to do a spell or something.
Was that spell that he used against the Dementors when he was in the time travel film? Patronum.
Do the what is it? Levioso one. That's like to where it shines light, like it makes a little flashlight.
That's the one he used it. Dementors, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think if
Levioso is there.
Yeah.
But I know he. Oh wait, no, he must be using Patronium.
Well, I know there was the one scene where she was like giving a little snarky comment is when they were in class, and they were trying to learn that spell, and
Is this the earlier films?
yeah, she was like, "It's Levioso, not Leviosa."
Wait, Levioso scope?
I
don't
think
remember that scene, but
I know there was a thing where if you would like tell Siri to do that, your flashlight would shine on.
okay, I'll just pretend.
remember.
Well, Hermione, I don't think you say the spell that way. I think it's Levioso. Yeah.
I don't know. If I definitely, well, I mean, any actor that portrays a character, like you have to, I feel like they take so much time to like put themselves in that character's shoe.
I can clearly see your excitement, so I think you're gonna have a lot.
Like it's the whole thing with the whole Jeffrey Dahmer series.
Okay. I have a bit of a.
Well, just the fact that somebody was able to play that role like that.
Continue. I'll see my thoughts after.
No, what are your thoughts?
I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's fair to the victims to watch a show that clearly romanticizes a serial killer. Now, that's withstanding that Evan Peters did a fantastic job.
Yeah, if we're just talking about the acting portion of this,
all right.
Evan Peters, oh my God, he killed it. Like, that was insane.
You think you could do method acting? That's like
That would be something I would definitely have to work my experience up towards. That is not something I could jump right off the bat and say, I'm a perfect method actor. Like, no, I cannot do that. That I feel like that takes such experience to do that.
Did you know? I think I might be wrong on this, but did you know Jared Leto when he was preparing himself to be the next Joker? Apparently, he would send stuff like a dead mouse to his coworkers just to get into the mind of Joker. So if you're talking about a dark character,
Well, I mean, shit, like that's who comes up with that? Like that is so crazy that people like you have to put your mindset into the mindset of like a psychopath. And if you're not already a psychopath, that's kind of hard.
but it is hard to really accurately show that because you're already seeing you're clearly full of emotions, but to turn them off for a role that asks for a psychopathic character, how are you gonna do that? You don't just go up there like,
You just turn it off.
I don't feel any remorse for my killings.
It's definitely, it's so much dedication. It's so much preparation.
We can talk about that in another episode when
Like-
she comes back. But so yes, clearly she wants to make a huge change in this industry, and I think that's what we all are looking forward to. When you get into LA, maybe you might make a different impact that's gonna definitely shift the way we approach this industry. Who knows? Keep it up with it, Summer, at her Instagram. Summer Eisenman. Did you put an R in your Instagram? I can't remember.
Summer Eisman.
There we go. Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, looking back on your career in modeling, what is one piece of advice and or wisdom that you wish you had known when you started?
I think the one piece of advice that I wish I had knew was, I think it leads back to me talking about the different beauty standards. So knowing that I don't have to look like everybody else for somebody to want to work with me. I will also say another really big thing for somebody starting out in this kind of industry, with it being so fluctuant between with the industry moving so fast, I feel the best option that has worked for me is to have a backup plan, which is something my parents have consistently mentioned to me all the time.
I relate.
Because it doesn't always work for everybody. So to always have a backup plan in case it doesn't work out, which is going to be extremely sad if it doesn't. But the biggest advice is definitely to know my worth. Would be. When I first got into it, I was like scared and I was nervous. I was like, I don't look like these other girls. I mean, gosh, if I could show y'all a picture from what I looked like back then, I was not no Kendall Jenner, that's for sure. But I was a child. I think I was 14 or 15. I was still growing.
Wait, what about that driver's license?
I was 16 in that.
Okay, that gave me a time frame of wow.
Actually, let me show
That's
you.
a hell of a growth spurt.
Yeah, it's also a matter of who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
If I were to surround myself with terrible people, I could be on a completely different path right now.
Don't be around with people that do drugs, smoke. Kids, please be safe. Okay. For those of you that want to follow your journey, where can people find you on social media platforms? And yes, I know we said it in the beginning, but we want to make sure that you do have exposure to other people that want to know who you are after watching this video, guys. 'Cause remember, guys, she's just not a model. She's a Lord of Rings nerd. Harry Potter apparently has a huge obsession with Hermione Granger. Loves Harry Potter. Harry Potter. I got that wrong. And has a lot of wide range of interests. Please do not look at her just as a model. She's a human being. That being said, where can people find you?
So all my socials are at Summer Eisman. I've got Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm not into the Twitter bullshit stuff.
Oh, the X.
You can't find me on there. I got Pinterest. I got...
Jesus Christ. What else do you have? Tumblr?
No, I'm not into the Tumblr or the Visco stuff or anything. I'm not going to give my Snapchat out to anybody because I don't do that.
Snapchat's still a thing? Dude, I wish Snapchat...
What? How old are you?
25.
Yes, Snapchat's still a thing.
I wish that platform
I
worked
like to see my friends' beautiful faces every day.
Bro, okay. I was on the Tennessee shoot. I still have clients. I see some of the clients that are on Snapchat. I'm like, why are you still... there's texting, right?
True, but like...
You have that feature on Instagram also.
Yeah. This is true.
Why are you still using Snap? That thing needs to die.
It's never gonna die.
Okay.
Anyways, you can't have my
Yes.
Snapchat, but you can find me everywhere else.
Summer Eisenman. At Summer Eisenman.
EISENMAN.
If you misspelled that, you might have got it. Whatever.
Actually, if you type in Summer E, it might pull up.
Oh, there you go. What?
You can find me on Google too.
See, that's a straight flex right there. You can also find her on Getty Images, apparently.
All jokes
$400.
aside. All jokes aside.
Okay, so now closing. What message would you like to leave to our audience, especially for those that draw inspiration from your career and achievements? What's the final message?
Step out of your comfort zone. Do something different. Don't be afraid to be different.
Even if you have disabilities.
Even if you can't hear.
What?
What?
All right, guys, that is it for this episode for Hidden Record. If you like more content like this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on Spotify as well as YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at Hidden Record. Wait, no, that's not a website. At Hidden Record. You can find me on Instagram too, and it's the same for. Yeah, I don't really want to use any more social media platforms, but it's Keno Atur, KenoAutor.
How do you not know how to spell your last name?
That's not my last name.
Oh. How do you not know how to spell your Instagram name?
Thought my last name is Atur.
I don't know. I have a weird last name too.
It's a French word.
Oh.
What part of Asian features?
I'm not one to discriminate.
Oh my god. It's okay. My last name is Manuel. Just so you know, Keno Atur, Auteur, Atur.
Not his last name.
Yes, and that is it. And again, that's Summer. Say goodbye.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming along.
Talk to you guys soon, because I'm sure I'll be back.
Bye bye and cut.